Public service announcement. Bonnets are not to be worn. Get ready. Outside.
You are dusty if you go outside with your pajamas and bonnet on, because the outside particles and the bacteria outside is going to get on your bonnet and your pajamas, and you're going to take your little dusty stuff and roll in your bed.
Disgusting thing you can do is wear your pajamas, your PJs outside and come back home and get in the bed.
Do you know what needs to be normalized? Going places in your pajamas.
Let's make having self-respect a part of Black culture.
From everything, from the title, from the thumbnail, and even from how I look, I know we know what we're about to dive right into. Bonnets in public. Let's be honest. Now, these debates have been going on for years. These debates have people saying, I don't care, it's what I want. And this debate has also had people saying it's not representable, you don't have self-respect, and all whatnot. In today's video, we are going to be determining what we think about this topic. Let's get right into it. Wearing bonnets in public. Is it harmless, or does it make you look unrepresentable? Some people say it's just a bonnet. Who cares? Others say it looks sloppy and unprofessional. But where do we draw the line? Today, we are going to be talking about it while also keeping it real about whether this debate even matters. Also, please keep your comments very respectful. I mean, we are all allowed to air our views on this topic, but I'm hammering on the respectful part, please, okay? With all this being said, let's get right into this video. Before we even start this topic, let us be very fair, okay? There are a couple of reasons why women wear bonnets outside. And if you've ever worn one, you already know. We're talking about hair protection. Natural hair, braids, wigs, and silk presses need protection from freeze and humidity. Convenience is another reason. I mean, not everyone has the time to style their hair just to make a quick run to the store. Now, people might like to compare it with other hair wears. I mean, people wear hoodies, baseball caps, and durags outside. So why are bonnets criticized more? Look, I get it. If I'm catching a 6 a.m. flight or making a late night run to the store, my hair is the last thing I'm worried about, right? But let's be honest. There is a difference between occasional convenience and making it an everyday habit. Now, let's look at why bonnets in public might be a bad look. Now, let's quickly look at different views about this topic and let me know your thoughts, like your honest thoughts in the comments, okay? Without further ado, let's get right into this.
I'm so sick of kids. Public service announcement. Bonnets are not to be worn. Get ready. Outside. Bonnets are to be worn in your house. You see where I'm at? I'm at home. I'm in my house. I have 3 daughters. 3. They wear bonnets. And they wear them in the house. They're barely not even wearing them outside to go check the mailbox. On a serious note, for real, stop. These are not to be worn outside. This is like going outside with panties. This is like going outside with underwear. These are our underwear for our heads. Yeah. And this one cute, by the way. It's versatile. Get you one. But remember, wear it only at home.
Firstly, I personally think it looks too casual. Whether we like it or not, first impression matters. Let's be honest. A bonnet is actually meant to be worn to sleep. So wearing it outside can give the impression that you didn't care to get ready. I mean, we wouldn't walk outside in a robe and slippers. So why is bonnets any different?
I'm going downstairs to grab some packages, but first I'm going to take off my bonnet because I'm very demure, I'm very mindful. I don't leave my apartment with the bonnet on. very mindful and very demure.
Okay, so the next reason why I think bonnets might be a bad look is, I mean, like it or not, how you represent yourself affects how people treat you. This isn't about impressing strangers, far from it. It's about self-respect. I mean, even celebrities like Monique said something about this. She gave her own perspective of it as bonnets giving the wrong impression when worn outside.
Yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta. I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves?
Every time I wear my bonnet to the airport, I literally remember that video that Monique made that made it to the shade room. And that will never stop me from wearing my bonnet in public because I don't care. She's not my aunt. I don't care. No, I don't. Like, I'm not doing my hair at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's ridiculous.
I know some people feel like this is about policing other women, especially Black women, since it's majority of us that, wear these bonnets. But is it really wrong to encourage people to step out looking their best? Now, this is not just even about bonnets. It's about pajamas. I mean, a lot of people now are trying to normalize wearing your PJs to literally everywhere.
Do you know what needs to be normalized? Going places in your pajamas. I remember going on a flight, it was an overnight flight, and these girls rocked up to the airport in their PJs, and I thought that is the smartest idea, to go on a flight in your pajamas. You'd be so comfortable. And right now I'm in Bunnings and I'm in my pajamas because it's late at night, 7:30, late for me. And why can't we go places in our pajamas? If you agree with me, let me know below.
Where do we draw the line between being comfortable and being unkempt? I'm sure there are other comfortable, representable outfits one can wear.
Oh yeah, it's my first time ever in life walking outside in public with a bonnet on. And I don't know, it's like everybody's staring at me. And it may just be me. I don't know. I'm not the girl that walks around in public with my bonnet on. And I save it in the comments about how y'all cool walking around with bonnets on. That's y'all. Me, I'm a pretty bitch and I'm well kept. That's not my bag. So anyway,
that's good.
Yeah, that's like everybody's looking at me, and I feel like I look at braids hanging out. That's probably why people looking at me. I look crazy.
But is it that deep? Now, I know some of y'all are saying, but it's just a bonnet. Why does it even matter? And honestly, that's a fair question. I mean, some argue that people should mind their business. If a woman is confident in a bonnet, why should anyone else care, right? But I like to think about it as being representable. The fact that we're even here talking about if bonnets should be worn out in public is a good or bad thing just shows you how we have fallen back.
Stop wearing your bonnet in the airport, okay? It's travel season and it's time to get into some airport etiquette, starting with the dress code. Why are you wearing your bonnet, pajama pants, bedroom slippers in the airport? That stuff is reserved for the house, okay? We don't want to see that in the airport. I'm not saying you need to come with your face beat and high heels on, but I am saying you need to care about how you present yourself to the world. And why are we wearing inappropriate clothing? See-through shirts, booty shorts. Why are you exposing somebody's child to your booty cheeks at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday? Okay, and please don't think you're getting an upgrade with that on, because the airlines do have the right to tell you no. I want us to do better. It's 2024. Let's care about how we look. Let's care about how we present ourselves to the world.
So a Black-owned dental office had a sign posted that said, no house shoes, no pajamas, no bonnets, right? And social media was so up in arms that they tried to destroy this woman's business by leaving her bad reviews, saying that the sign was anti-Black. I just want to know why everything negative and uncouth has to be labeled Black culture. I also want to know why advocating for us to go in public looking like we care about ourselves and how we look is deemed as respectability politics. We should not be condoning and advocating for clear signs of depression, because the only times I've ever been raggedy in public is when something was off with me mentally. Rolling out of bed in the morning and going in public with a bonnet and pajamas on and house shoes is unacceptable, uncouth behavior, no matter what race of people does it. And going out in public looking well put together like I care about myself doesn't mean that I'm trying to be like white people or I'm trying to get white people to respect me. Maybe it's because I respect me. Let's make having self-respect a part of Black culture.
I honestly liked what she said. She made a lot of sense. And for those that really don't agree with other people's point of views about this topic, it's fine. I'm very aware that a lot of people are not going to agree with this. In fact, I think I might be stepping on some toes with this video title. But the truth is, representation matters. First impression matters. There's a story on TikTok where a lady said she met someone that mentored her on how to generate money for her business. And what strikes the conversation was how good she was looking in the airplane.
I'm in Doha flying with Qatar Airlines. I walk past business class and I see this man, right? This big white man. We locked eyes and I quickly looked away because I'm a peasant going to economy. Like, don't look at me. So I went to my seat. We landed in New York. I went to collect my bag, and who did I see again? The same man. I don't usually see people from business class when I go to collect my bag, so this was like a first in a while type thing for me. And once again, we had an awkward look. It was very quick. Anyways, he and his wife's bag. I got my bag, and I proceeded to go about my way because I have a 9-hour layover here in JFK. This was about 10 o'clock at night. I found somewhere to chill, get some rest, and around like 3:30 I got up and I refreshed myself. My hair is kind of a mess, so I threw on my hat, I put on some lip gloss, you know, the bare minimum, but looking presentable. And I said, let me go get some coffee. Who did I see again? That same man. I said, no, Natasha, this can't be a coincidence. I have to talk to the man this time. He looked at me, I looked at him, and he said, how do you look this good at 4 o'clock in the morning? I said, well, you know. We got to talking. He told me that he's into sales, and it turns out that he actually owns a chain of restaurants, and he was able to raise money, over $2 million for his business. He asked me what I'm trying to do. I told him that I'm a doctor who's launching a skincare brand, and then he asked me if I have backers, aka investors. I then told him that I'm in the process of, fundraising and whatever, and he asked me how much I'm trying to raise, and this is where the conversation got juicy, for me at least. I told him that, I have different models. I have one that's pre-seed, which is like 250, but like my big goal is like the one in the millions, right? Then he told me, listen, if you're coming to me as an investor and you want to raise $250,000, I'm going to think that you're not confident. You're not confident in your idea and in yourself. And that really shook me up, because it goes to show that when you present your ideas to the right people, it won't be too much for them. I've heard comments that, $250,000 is a lot of money. Ain't nobody gonna give you that, whatever. And in reality, it's not a lot of money. There are deals being signed in my industry for hundreds of millions and tens of millions of dollars. So that little 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 million that I'm asking for, it is nothing. He said to me, the only thing that's gonna stop you from raising that money is the fact that you don't see yourself at that stage. And I said, whoa, it's funny that he said that, because I do see myself raising that money, but every time I try to tell certain people, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money, whatever. But in reality, it's not. It's really not. You, as an entrepreneur, as anybody, you have to learn to protect your vision, and that also entails being careful with whom you share the vision to. Anyways, he said that we live in a society now that wants to see Black women win, and he is right. We tend to talk about a lot of the negative things surrounding Black women and how it's hard for us, but the reality is that there are a lot of things that are backing us. There are a lot of things and opportunities for us that our parents and grandparents did not have. So we need to not let the culture dictate how we show up. And I have been guilty of that, saying that, Black women raise less than 1% of venture capital funding. Who am I to think that I can do it? And subconsciously, those thoughts have been engraved in my mind. And I had to say to myself, you know what? I'm not thinking about that anymore. I'm not thinking about my color or my gender anymore. I am competent. I am able. I have a good idea. Let's do this. Anyways, he kept on, complimenting me on how well I looked, how put together I look, my jewelry and all of these things. And he said that as women, these are the things that we have to embrace. We embrace our beauty as well. And he was very respectful about it. And I got his contact, I got his card, I shook his hand really well. He's like, whoa, I give a good handshake, right? And that is a contact that I'm excited to follow up on, because the fact that he raised money for his business means that he knows things that I need to learn, right? And
he may have contacts that may be valuable to me in the future. But the bottom line is that if I didn't look put together, if I didn't look presentable, maybe we would have never had this conversation. So no more bonnets in the airport, you guys. I am so sorry. No more bonnets in the airport. Put on a hat, right? Comb your hair. Put on a nice little tracksuit or a nice little dress or a blazer or something. Please look presentable in the airport, because you come across so many different people that literally one connection could change your life. I'm realizing that I'm a CEO, I'm a business owner, so therefore I have to start dressing for that role even before my business launch. Like even when I'm at the airport, I'm at church, I'm on vacation, like dress for the woman, the person, the man, woman who you want to be. Because honestly, people are visual creatures, men and women, we are visual creatures. Don't think you can just show up like you just rolled out of bed and have doors just open for you unless you're like super connected or whatever. Like some of us gotta put in the work, and especially as Black people, I will always say this: we can't get away with certain things that other ethnicities can get away with. So I mean, it's just life. It's just life, cold hard facts. So we have to help ourselves get ahead. And a part of that is looking good and looking put together. So whether you have a 4 a.m. or a 4 p.m. flight, I don't want to see y'all in the bonnets no more, please.
So at the end of the day, I think she said something like, ladies, be well dressed, always make sure you're put together, because you do not know who you might meet. And that's the truth. Just imagine somebody meeting you in your PJs or with your bonnets in the airplane. Like, be for real. Do you think you are going to be taken seriously? And yes, this is not about pleasing people. This is about respecting yourself. There are different comfortable options you can wear instead of a bonnet. I am very sure about that. But I mean, if bonnet is what you like, I mean, what rocks your boat, darling? But at the end of the day, we are going to tell ourselves the truth. At the end of the day, I see both sides. Yeah, you should be able to wear what you want. But should you also take pride in how you represent yourself? Absolutely.
You are dusty if you go outside with your pajamas and bonnet on, because the outside particles and the bacteria outside is going to get on your bonnet and your pajamas, and you're going to take your little dusty stuff and roll in your bed. Now, your bed smells like outside. We all know that outside smell. I said what I said. Fight me.
She really said what she said. But yes, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. At the end of the day, what do you think about this whole topic?